Top 10 Most Beautiful Old Towns in Europe. Number 1. Marbella Old Town. Whitewashed houses with flowers hanging from the balconies, narrow streets adorned with stylish boutiques, tiny old churches, beautiful fountains, and ladies wearing vivid flamenco dresses in the lively Plaza de los Naranjos, Orange Square, where traditional restaurants serve the best, and priciest, of Andalusian cuisine. This would be an accurate picture of Marbella Old Town, one of the most colorful and full of life old centers you've ever seen. Among the main attractions of Marbella's Casco Antiguo are the Moorish walls, the Church of St. Mary, the Chapel of St. John, and, of course, the idiosyncratic craft shops that line the impossibly narrow streets. Number 2. Prague Old Town. The Old Town of Prague, filled with legends and imposing monuments that stand as constant reminders of its tumultuous past, is the most remarkable and treasured side of the city. With the famous Old Town Square located in the middle, and several museums and churches connected by old-fashioned cobblestone streets, this medieval-flavored area dominated by the Gothic Church of Our Lady of Tin and the Town Hall is not just a captivating visual illustration of history, but also one of the best-preserved old town centers in Europe. Number 3. Sibiu Old Town. Surrounded by the ancient citadel's walls, the handsome old town of Sibiu is one of the most important touristic and cultural attractions in Romania. Consisting of 3 lovely medieval squares, Big Square, Little Square, and the Huge Square, the old center of the city hosts many iconic monuments, including the remains of the 7 towers, one for each traditional craft, lots of cozy cafes, terraces and restaurants, as well as one of Sibiu's 10 museums, the Brukental Museum. Throughout the year, Sibiu Old Town makes for a charming medieval backdrop for festivals and events. Number 4. The historic center of Rome. Teeming with life and outstanding Roman ruins, remarkable basilicas, and fountains for wishes, the historic center of Rome is undoubtedly the definition of what an old center means. No wonder it is one of the most visited and romantic places on Earth. Wander the ancient streets of this Renaissance pocket and you'll discover architectural treasures and remains of an astonishing past at every turn. Number 5. Vienna Old Town. The Innenstadt is the soul of the city and a symbol of the Viennese grace and sophistication. The majestic State Opera House, St. Stephen's Cathedral, Albertina Museum, Hofburg Palace, and the Austrian National Library are the supporting pillars of this ocean of culture that is Vienna Old Town. A slow walk on Kärntnerstrasse, Vienna's main shopping street, will immerse you in a genuine atmosphere of history and tradition. Grab a freshly baked pastry or linger over a torte and a cup of coffee for hours, and you will instantly feel like you are part of this fabulous, elegant society that they invented. Number 6. The Old Town of Amsterdam. Whether you're looking for culture, history, architecture, shopping, coffee shops, bars, restaurants, or maybe you fancy a quiet stroll or a fun bike ride, the Old Town of Amsterdam will put all these at your fingertips. This part of the city is an inviting, cosmopolitan, and unconventional mix of canals, curled bridges, narrow gobbled houses, bicycles, tulips, and a Wallen, red light district. Consisting of 4 neighborhoods, De Wallen, Dam, Spuy, and Newmarket, the historical center of Amsterdam plays host to attractions such as Oude Kerk, the oldest building in the city, the marvelous Royal Palace, Amsterdam Historical Museum, and the notorious Madame Tussauds. Number 7. Warsaw Old Town. You will be surprised by the beauty and individuality of Warsaw Old Town. A place where sadness meets fairytale, the historic center of Warsaw, also called Stare Miasto, was largely destroyed during the Second World War, when more than a half of the city's population was killed. The buildings were perfectly reconstructed at the end of the war, but there is a shade of sorrow still floating over the beautiful Polish city. Some of the things you should not miss here include the Old Town Market Square, a charming space filled with cafes, bars, shops, and restaurants located right in the middle, the churches, St. John's Cathedral, Jesus Church, and St. Martin's Church, and the Barbican, remains of the fortification that once surrounded Warsaw and now serves as the gate between the Old Town and the New Town. Number 8. Historic Center of Bruges. A medieval urban landscape with a gorgeous mix of Gothic architecture, history, canals, chocolate, and lovely atmosphere. The UNESCO-listed Historic Center of Bruges looks so perfect that it's actually hard to believe that there are real people living there. However, there are plenty of things to see and do in this chocolate box part of town. You can try the delicious local cuisine and fantastic beers in the wonderful restaurants or travel back in time with a romantic carriage ride. If you want to experience Bruges Old Town at its best, you should definitely visit during the Christmas period, when Grootmarkt hosts one of the most beautiful and idyllic Christmas markets in Belgium. Number 9. Ivica Old Town. Called Daltvilla, Upper Town, the medieval old town of Ivica is located on a little mountain overlooking the sparkling Mediterranean Sea. This fascinating part of the island consists of three main areas: Daltvilla itself, Sa Pena, and La Marina. Daltvilla is the epicenter of Ivica Old Town, so different from the rest of the island, so magical, and so full of history. The Roman ruins, Ivica Castle, and the famous city walls are, beyond doubt, the main attractions of Daltvilla. La Marina is an extension of the historic center and the district where you can find some of the best restaurants, bars, and shops on the island. This is also the place where ships from all over the world are tied up, and where Ivica's history and traditions are beautifully mixed with the island's cosmopolitan vibe. Sa Pena, or the gay town of Ivica, is one of the most popular areas to enjoy the amazing nightlife that the island that never sleeps is so famous for. Number 10. Tallinn Old Town. Tallinn Old Town is a compact medieval city center crisscrossed by winding cobblestone alleys, a delightful cluster of guard towers, Gothic spires, beautiful shops and markets, brightly colored houses, churches, museums, and cozy cafes, all enclosed within walls and olden times. A particularly impressive spot in this UNESCO-protected site is the Danish King's Garden. Tallinn Old Town can be enjoyed any time of the year, but if you're looking for a truly wonderful and authentic Estonian experience, try to organize your trip around the winter holidays, when a magical Christmas market is set up amongst the centuries-old buildings. Expect delicious traditional food, plenty of snow, and rock-bottom prices. Have you visited any of these old towns? Which one impressed you the most? Please like and subscribe for more interesting videos. Thank you for watching.